So I'm here at the CXC open house party, and I run into a very familiar face to many of you fans of the show, Tom Haake, back in the house. How you doing, Tom?
How you doing, Sean Cole? Good.
I'm doing very well.
Sweet.
Nice to have you here.
Nice to be back.
You are now with CXC Simulations.
It's true.
How long have you been here?
Almost a year now.
And what is your job title here?
I'm head of development.
Head of development. What does that have you doing?
Developing all kinds of things. So everything from developing new products and new techniques to make the sim feel more realistic or more fun in any particular way, to integrating new parts, and also developing business in some ways.
Okay.
Filming things, producing commercials, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, let me take you down a certain path and you
Sure.
fill in the gaps for me then. Chris talked about research and development,
Yeah.
and a lot of it stemmed from client need.
Yes.
So let's say client A has a new need, and Chris, I'm assuming, comes to you and says, client A needs this.
Yep.
Take me through the process.
Sure, no problem. So then I look at all the possible solutions that already exist. If some of those fill our need, then I'll find the best way to integrate it, test it and test it again, probably end up tweaking it, whether it's software or hardware. We pretty much tear everything we get our hands on apart. And the first thing, it comes in the door, we take it apart. And, okay, how can I make this better? And then integrate it into the sim. If none of those things fill that need, then we start innovating and making stuff ourselves.
And just sort of designing it from scratch.
That's right.
You have any examples off the top of your head of things like that?
That I can mention, not off the top of my head.
Okay.
We have some new exciting things in the pedal and steering wheel regions that are very, very proprietary and fun. So, yes.
And you say the word proprietary, and that kind of upsets me as a sim racer. By that, do you mean it's something that I will never get to actually use in my home?
Probably, unless you buy a wonderful Motion Pro 2.
Okay, well that would work, but these are things being specifically built for the
For
simulator.
the Motion Pro 2, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. And I mean, is this a job that you find stimulating? Is it?
Yeah.
Is it always different every day?
There is no 2 days that are the same. Yeah, I've always been the take it apart kind of guy, and that was always my hobby. And I was on camera and performance and that kind of thing in my profession, and now that's become my hobby, performing, and now engineering and designing has become my profession. So it's kind
of really enjoyable for you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I can tell you look like you're enjoying yourself.
It's awesome.
I asked Chris something about the future, looking 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I mean, you're intimate with the sim.
Yeah.
Where do you see this sim? Where do you see sim racing going in 3, 4, 5 years?
That's a big question. Sim racing in 5 years. I would hope that we could see things like force feedback pedals and force feedback shifters and some sort of clutch feel there and some sort of awesome stuff like that.
So that's what you're working on.
I'm not saying a word, Sean Cole. But I would love to see those kind of things in the market. I would love to see maybe integrated systems where you don't have to piece together, you know, oh, I want Logitech wheel and Club Sport pedals and an Oboto rig, and you know, maybe somebody will design something very large and not very large, but very integrated.
Right, like that.
Hey, look at that! Wow, somebody has. No, but I mean, you know, something that is easy to use and integrated. And then software. I'm just so excited about software. I think iRacing seems to be keeping up pretty well. They continue to innovate, which amazes me. They just released a video on new sounds that they have and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, yeah, so you have to keep doing that kind of stuff if you want to keep up. But that's great.
Right. What's it like? I mean, I sit in a position where I have things sent to me. You used to work with us. You know, and everyone thinks of us as being cutting edge because we get first looks. But the reality is, I see it long after it's been done.
Sure.
What's it like trying to imagine the products of tomorrow today? I mean,
it's pretty eye-opening. I mean, we have some things in the shop that are either prototypes or before from other companies, and it's crazy going from a level where you see things that are released and on the market to seeing things that are not yet available.
Right.
You see some really incredible technologies that you may not have thought was possible, like the 3D printing thing. That's consumer level now, but you get it in your life and you're like, oh my God, I can print anything. I can print anything. Oh, you know, and just the other day I found a need. I needed a panel mount for a power receptacle 2 audio ports and an Ethernet port. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to cut this out. And I was like, wait, no, I can just print it. So stuff like that it's really crazy to see. And trying to imagine where that can go is almost impossible. I mean, there are people who are wonderful futurists and people who can go, oh no, I can totally see how this is going to shape society, and that's amazing. I almost don't have that forethought. I'm always like, okay, what do we have? Okay, I can make this work. I can see what I can make.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and after talking to Chris and talking to you, you know, it's obvious to me that we're on a much more accelerated learning curve too, because these things are going from idea to function, or at least a functioning prototype, to then being actually in manufacturing process.
Yeah, which is actually something I'm seeing in general in careers right now. It's become a very maker mentality. You know, it's not someone who went to college for this very specific purpose and got a job. It's kind of like people who are able and willing to adapt and find new things and learn them quickly and regurgitate and turn them into new products.
Right. Yeah. Did you have a hand in that Champ car out in the showroom?
We all did. We all worked very hard on that thing. If you ever imagine that working on a race car is really cool and fun, it is for like the first 2 hours. And then you're like, oh my God, this hurts so bad. Everything is so tight and packed in and hard to get to. You know, there's barge boards down the side, so you're trying to get in the engine compartment and it's way over there. And so it's
you probably answered my next question,
which
is what was the biggest obstacle in doing it? It sounds like dealing with the spaces.
Dealing with the spaces and integrating the technology that we did without cutting up that tub.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Well, you guys did fine work there.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, Tom, it was great having you on the show again.
Hi, internets, I miss you guys. You're awesome.
And thanks for having us here today.
No problem.